What's up, guys? Okay, so now I'm continuing my Batman reviews with the first Batman movie directed by Joel Schumacher. And of course, that movie is Batman Forever. Yeah. Okay. So, Batman Forever was the first Batman movie that was not directed, the first Batman movie in the anthology that wasn't directed by Tim Burton, as I just mentioned. Joel Schumacher was the director, however, Tim Burton still produced it. Now, Joel Schumacher, I will admit, he can do good stuff. However, Batman Forever is definitely not one of the best Batman films ever. When I watched this movie as a kid, I will admit that I enjoyed it. I mean, I just loved it to death. Now that I'm older, I do see some of the cracks, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, I have 5 problems with this movie. However, just because I have 5 problems doesn't mean that I don't like the movie. I do still enjoy it, but I don't think that it's as good as I did when I was younger. So that's just how it works. Let me explain. Let's just get into this review. Okay, so first of all, we have Val Kilmer in this movie who plays Batman. And Bruce Wayne, which I really didn't hate the guy. I mean, I thought I liked him. You know, he wasn't that terrible. I mean, his lines were kind of cheesy, like, it's the car, right? Chicks love the car. You know, didn't really feel like Batman to me. I mean, granted, the line was kind of funny because the car was kind of a unique design, but I will admit, the Batmobile, bam, that's my first problem with this movie. I mean, it was not the Batmobile. It was just a bunch of blue neon lights just shining everywhere. That's just weird. Okay, my next problem with this movie is that the whole world of it is completely changed. The dark and mature world that Tim Burton created, not in this movie. I mean, whenever Batman gets there, everybody points up like, oh my gosh, Batman! Oh, yay! No, you don't do that. Okay, however, I do understand that they were trying to make it more comic-inspired, but as it works, yeah, I still don't get it. However, let's get into my biggest problem with this movie, and that is the villains. Okay, now the main villain in Batman Forever is Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, but they marketed the main villain as the Riddler because Jim Carrey plays the Riddler in Batman Forever, and everybody loves Jim Carrey, so they were just like, put him in all the ads, let's make him look like the main villain. Okay, in all honesty, I hated these portrayals. Okay, now, nothing against the characters themselves. The characters in general, Batman, they work okay. But in this movie, this was not Two-Face and it was not the Riddler. Both of them were the Joker. You know, they were just completely over the top and just, you know, that's just weird. But in terms of Riddler representations, you do have different representations that have been put to screen. You know, you have Frank Gorshin, who was really crazy and cartoony, or you have the really methodical Riddler, like the one from Batman the Animated Series. I love that Riddler. In fact, I wish they'd gone for that Riddler in this movie. And same thing goes for Two-Face. You know, there are different portrayals of Two-Face that I think could have been done, but at the same time, Tommy Lee Jones, in a serious villain role, he would be really good for Two-Face, just not the Two-Face that was represented in this movie. And then you have Chris O'Donnell in this movie who plays Robin, because you knew they were going to introduce Robin at some point in this franchise, and they did right here. Now, I will admit, Chris O'Donnell, I didn't hate him as Robin. You know, I really didn't. You know, I mean, I thought, because they made us feel the pain he was going through, at least from my perspective, the way I view this movie, and they actually managed to really show how much he wanted to be Batman's sidekick, you know? He tells Bruce, he's like, I don't need a friend right now, okay? I need a partner. Two-Face has got to pay. And at the same time, his backstory was so similar to Bruce Wayne's, and again, I'm not going to reveal it too much. Again, I'll talk about that when I get to Batman Begins. However, another thing that I need to mention is the costumes in this movie, okay? The costumes are just terrible. Okay, first of all, the Bat suit and the Robin suit, what the heck were they thinking? Why did you put nipples on the Bat suit? Why? Ugh, why? Okay, I had to get that out of the way. I'm sorry, the thing is, Batman should not have nipples on his suit. It's just wrong. And the same thing goes for the Riddler. He is wearing like neck to toe tights. However, the story as a whole, I need to touch on the story. Okay. What's the story? Okay, you got Batman, he's back doing this whole thing, going after Two-Face, and then eventually, you know, Dick Grayson, his parents die and Bruce Wayne is at the circus where Dick Grayson was performing, and, you know, so eventually Bruce Wayne takes him in, he's like, hey, I'll give you a place to bunk, so, for that reason, I think the story is okay, but in general, Batman Forever is definitely not the best Batman movie. This was really the start of the downfall of Batman. The next movie had definitely sealed that. Oh my gosh. But anyways, guys, like I said, I think this movie is good. I think it's okay, but I don't think it's great by any means necessary. I am going to give Batman Forever, throw on a batarang, a B-. Okay, guys. I mean, there were... Oh, and another thing I want to mention, the riddles in this movie, they're completely easy to solve. What the deuce? Okay. Now, there were a few people at the time who I think liked Batman Forever. I myself, I'm one of them, but I'm in the, you know, mid-range and stuff. I know most of the stuff I've said in this review is just shredding the movie apart. It might sound like that, but in all honesty, I do think Batman Forever is a fairly good movie with a few good scenes here and there. But I want to hear from you guys. Have you seen Batman Forever? If so, what did you think? Post your comments below. And as always, guys, thank you all for watching. And if you like this, like, comment, favorite, hit that subscribe button, and join the Jolinator Club. Chest bump.